cut the foot off, the bottom here, and then I'll turn it over and tool it later on. So I do, tool these if I don't tool them. But any other thing, like usually adding appendages and things like that, I'll do right now. You know what I mean? And because it seems like what I want to do is work with the image as it's registering on me. That's the one reason. It's one of the reasons why I went to salt firing. That kind of process, the immediacy of it. It's because I found myself actually like making the form, and then letting it get leather hard the next day, and then tooling it the next day, then waiting another day or 5 days, and then bisque firing it. Then after the bisque firing it, I would decorate it, and I would glaze it. Then I'd finally put it in a glaze kiln. See? Well, this might be 2 weeks or something, and by that time I'm so far removed from the image, that I can't deal with it. So that and see, it's the other thing. See, we go back to the recording possibilities of the clay. At the end of the day, I feel that the clay records where you were psychologically that day. That's what that day's work is about. Tomorrow's going to be something else. I mean, if your life's like my life, every day, in the life, a little something's got to fall, right? And it usually is, So my life changes all the time, from day to day, day to day. See, that's why I got out of cutting meat, because it wasn't changing. It's very easy to get the hell out of that situation. Just move. It's really put one foot in front of the other and lean forward. Be surprised where you'll go. So I don't run. Like people running around like the track at school. They run nowhere. Just think if all those years when you're running around a circle, you would have just run straight. Just think where you would have gone, what you could have seen. When you think about it, it's fantastic. So anyhow, I like the idea of it recording me that time, that day, that time, boom, right there, So that's why I work with the immediacy of it now, see. And so I'm not worried about whether it's going to fall down or whether it's going to break, whether it's going to slump or whatever, It doesn't matter. The fact that you did it to this point is a fact of it. It's enough justification doing it, The piece probably wanted to fall over or slide down or do something, It probably was the best thing that ever happened to it, and lots of times, you know what I mean? Really, see. So you do that. So you just work because you're going to be able to center it. You're going to be able to make another piece. It's not precious, and you don't have any instructor coming around cutting in half to look at the section, Like, I never do that. See, I don't know how you teach. Y'all teach whatever. That's okay. It doesn't make any difference. I don't believe in practicing to make art. I don't believe in warming up to it. We make it right away. We don't make any practice pots. We right away. We put down what we feel is a logical and pleasing form. Whether it's that thick or that thick, I don't really care. If it blows up, it's just too thick. If it doesn't blow up, boy, it works great. It really doesn't matter. You will adjust all of that as you work. You will adjust that. Let's just take that for a minute. So it's you throw this thing. Yeah, it's that thick. This little thing. Boy, I really like it. Well, just fire, sure, put it in there, fire. See. So I fire the thing, and it doesn't blow up. They say, wow, it's so heavy, I can't pick it up. Before I put coffee in it, I can't pick it up. So your mind will say, it must be made lighter. I see that. Sure, I'm not a dummy. And so you will correct all of those things, But you don't start out trying to correct them before you know what the hell you're trying to correct. You see what I mean? See? And so you just start doing. Nor do you start out with saying, I'm going to make cups. I'll say, okay, today, I want to start out with a vessel that can be filled with fluid, and you can transport your magic and drink out of it. I never use the word cup. See, because as soon as I say cup, they go, cup, bing, and the little thing like Jack and Dog and Jane comes into your mind, and you cup, see? But if you use it and talk about its use first, what's going to happen with it, its a rationalization for existing, then you will approach it in your own way, what that means to you, see? And that, listen, and we talk about selling, and this is right in with selling, People want part of you, is what you're selling. It's you. You're not selling pottery so much, It's part of you, and they'll pay for it, The thing here, I'm really getting you just got to stay, I guess, I just got to tell, because when I think about something, because my interest span is very short. And if I don't tell you what to think about it, I won't tell you about it, see? But it's important, that people need y'all, They don't need dishes, see? They need y'all. And if you're in your dishes, which become pottery forms, that's what they want to buy. Otherwise, we go down to the store and buy commercially produced ware. A lot cheaper, a lot stronger, a lot better glazed, a lot better everything else except the personal quality of it than you can do, And a great example of this is, if you go down up in Ohio, right, go down to Taylor Smith and Taylor, okay? Here is, we got these bags of feldspar, There they got, this huge silo full of feldspar, silo full of barium, silo full of, freight cars for tunnel kills, And these people are in there, they're loading them with plates, they're loading them like this greenware. It's a place, holy mother, God, and these cars going through, right through, these huge cars going through. Exactly. You look at that still, and here it's 7 dozen wheel heads, and 7 dozen poised jigger arms. The guy pushes buttons, 7 dozen balls of clay, bing, 7 dozen jigger arms, bing, 7 dozen plates. Now, you're going to compete with that? No way, see? You're doing something entirely different. Now, you are competing with it, and if your images are only the same as industry, then you can't charge any more industry charges, Then you're in price competition, that's the way it is, see? Like when I was over in Australia, I was talking to people, and they said, well, we can only charge so much. And I looked, I wondered why. I thought, well, I guess that's true. Because you're not real. I didn't mean to be nasty, because it's not. I'm saying it because if you look at the images and your glazes, even, the same glazes, the same images that industry is producing. So if you're going to do that, you cannot compete, price-wise. See? But I'll be damned if I'm going to work at less than minimum wage, And you got to pay yourself at least a minimum wage, an hourly wage. Like sitting here today, you should be charging this off to your business today. See, you pay yourself for this day, Loading this takes, look how long it take me to make that. Normally, the shortest length of time you're going to spend is sitting down at the wheel. That's probably the shortest length of time. Glazing, finding materials, just ship stuff. That's probably one of the biggest times, Packing your kills, firing your kills. I don't know about you, when I'm firing a kill, I can't do anything with fire to kill, Because I clean up the shop and do things I can't make wear because my energies are going into firing the kill and being in tune with the kill. So that's another whole thing to talk about, Okay? So you have to charge a wage for that, The cost of material is nothing, see? The cost of firing, that's nothing, My kill, okay, my kill, when I fire the kill, it costs me, depending on whether it's 20 below zero or 70 degrees outside, anyway, if I fire with propane, So that I fire the kill, let's say it's really cold outside, then it costs me maybe $80, $90 maybe to fire my kill, all right? $100 maybe to fire to kill, see? So I think of that, say, wow, $100, But then I open the kill, and I take, if the things work, and I take now, and I got about $7,000 worth of wear in the kill. So, that's nothing cost of firing. You got gas, if you got it, really, it's the way I look at it anyhow, see? But the cost is right here. There's two things, the material cost, it is the cost of the expense, all that stuff, and then the aesthetic value that you put on it. That's the hardest thing, putting the aesthetic value on as related to a monetary thing, and it's a hard thing to do. Here you have 2 bowls that are the same. One's $100, one's $7, Same size. It's a hard thing. That's a hard part of it. But anyhow, what I'm trying to say is you've got to charge more than minimum wage, And I look around and the potters do it to themselves, We have always done it to ourselves, We're very romantic, and that's beautiful. We wouldn't have it any other way. We want to have more pasta, more people for less money. That's bullshit, Because, if I have to go to the movie, what's it cost me to go to a movie, If I take my wife to a movie, it's $7, $8 just to go to a damn old film, which are usually lousy movies anyhow, I go down there, I want to buy a pair of boots, I go buy a pair of boots, you got a $200 bill shot on a pair of boots, right? You know what? You buy a pair of, designer jeans, I went in and a guy wanted to charge me $27 for a pair of overalls, I said, are you out of your gourd? I paid $13 for these, which I about flipped for sneakers, $13. I said, wow, and I'm trying to ask somebody to give me $3 for a coffee mug? Hey, go down to a hardware store or where they sell the dishes, and you see how much they're getting even for a redwood flower box, right? There's probably more than your job. I'm not putting you down, more than I was, because this is how whenever I say you, I mean me too, because, I'm not telling you nothing I didn't do. Probably worse than you ever did it, And I look in here, they were getting more for redwood planters than I was getting for a flower, for a pot, for a thrown planter, I said, whoa, something is wrong, Someone didn't tell me in school. Someone didn't talk to me. Someone didn't say, hey, you're a good person, Slavery is gone, It's okay. Don't worry about theoretically anyhow, But you put yourself in change, You really do. And you start thinking about what I have to buy, and if you start bringing prices down to what you buy every day, see? An example of this was one time, and then I'll really go say, I know he's nervous. Don't worry, I'll start working pretty soon. It's all right, I will. Honest God, be all right. I'm at Evanston, I won't talk about my story. Evanston, Illinois, okay? And so I'm in an art fair. See, I started doing the art fairs, Now art fairs are like sideshows to me anymore, You just cannot make a living at art fairs, it seems. It's just like, generally, I know you can. Please, everything I say, just sort of water it down a little bit, You got to talk direct. There's so many slices come out of this little bitty pie anymore. It used to be, you go to an art fair, we go to the Gold Coast, go to Old Town, so hang out with myself and Cole Scott and Wilson and people. I would see, $3,000 piece of sculpture sell out of the gutter, even at those days, because people came to see the artists. Because who was there? Artists. There was no hobbyists there. I'm not putting down hobbies. Please don't. I don't mean that any way at all. But I'm saying people who were making a full-time living at their work were there, okay, and they were charging the prices they had to charge to make this living, to send a couple of kids through school on an artist's living, just to raise a kid, right? To raise that boy, you make a lot of pots, I'll tell you. That's bad, See, or have a big garden, all that kind of stuff, right? And so this lady's. Well, I'm sitting and I'm getting up with trouble. I have my one other great attribute is digression. I'm sorry about that. I'm sitting there, see. So this lady's coming by, see. Matter of fact, two things happened that same day. I'm going to tell you both of them, okay? First, I'll switch around. The first thing I'll tell you about a fellow, a potter came. She said to me, Don, talking about the prices. She said, come on, Don. She said, how long did it take you to make that bowl, I said, about 15 years at that time, right? Hey, this bowl right here, it took me about 25 years to make that bowl, You got to think about that. Ask a dentist how long it took him to be a dentist or a doctor or this lawyer. Think about other things, see, other professions, see. And I agree with that. See? Okay, so that afternoon, this lady comes by, see, and nice-looking lady. That's why I kind of remember this lady. Really nice. I enjoy voyeurism. I hide behind my pots. That's all right. That was one of the pleasures of the art fair. You don't sound anything, but it was an 8 in the hot summer. Everybody walking down the street. All right. Anyhow, so later, and I see she said, boy, there are a lot of money, I said, yeah. And I was always known for not really selling for a lot of money, I said, wow, yeah. I said, yeah, I'm not really that much. I said, well, how does someone afford your work, And I mean, at that time, for my work was really, she's talking about a $50 pot. Matter of fact, it was $50. It was a cover, which I used to have these $50 pieces, And so it was nice buying. I said, well, it's just a nice piece, And I feel proud of it. It's a nice piece, And she said, well, how do you? Well, I looked at her, I said, well, see, she's got a Bailey hat on, right, And see, she's got to have Justin or Tony Lama, boots on, a nice elephant ear pod there, And she's got these leather shine breeches, And I'm thinking, I said, how do you afford to get those boots and those breeches? She said, well, I'll save my money. I said, there you go. That's how you get my money. Save up, And that's true. If someone wants to, they'll save up for it, And I say, tell them, just save up, save your money. Anyway, let's go on. Pricing your wearing report. What was I going to do? I don't know why I keep doing that. There must be some reason for me to do that. If I did that, I'll probably figure that out. Okay, now we'll take this one off and I'll, there you go, a little less below there. So I'll set that foot now, see, kind of the way I want it, I'll set that foot. And I like what's happening at this point, I like what's happening underneath there. That's what's another neat thing that's so neat about this clay, see? It's always changing. Something's always happening, And you got to say, oh, hold it. And you do that, see, you'll never do that same thing again, That's why your pieces become unique, because what happens is your pieces are about you, and you're unique. And look at us all in this room, There's nobody the same size, race, creed, hair. We're all different, When I taught public here's another thing. I taught public school, right, for about 2 years. And I said, whoa, I had to quit being a meat cutter to have, I was on her read food, and I couldn't help her read food. I said, I never, yeah. In Dover, New Jersey, see, that's the other thing. In Dover, New Jersey is where you were at, because I was really strong built at that time, You had to be to teach. It's one of the prerequisites to teaching in Dover, New Jersey. You had to be, black belt was preferred. That gave you another $1,000 raise. You walk down all the twos, right? And the kids will open the locker door, you know, bang, say, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Rice, we didn't see you, you know. What am I doing? This is ridiculous, because I used to have to chaperone some of the other teachers down the hall, because I didn't mind if I did that time. Matter of fact, that time I kind of liked it. It was a different time period, a lot of that time. I used to get, that's funny how you do it.